Well, I couldn't even tell you about the vault, man. I ain't never seen it.
I don't think I want to divulge too much. I might get cursed or something.
It's really a vault of treasure.
There's nothing that I see that you guys are doing wrong, even if you don't have permission from Prince to be doing the documentary.
It's a big steel, thick door with a big combination lock on it.
Y'all gonna get me killed.
So are the rumors true? I've come to Prince's hometown, Minneapolis, to find out. Does the vault really exist? And if so, what's he got locked away?
Did you know about the vault before you worked there?
I started the vault.
Do you know the vault exists?
Oh, it exists.
It's a physical vault. It's in the basement at Paisley Park.
And it's just this room in the building that just has poof and like veils and whatnot. And then there's the door with the combination lock.
It is a bank vault. It has like a bank vault's door. It's really, really thick.
It may be almost the size of this room, maybe not quite as large, but I mean, and all it is just shelves.
When I joined Prince in '83, I had a little bit of downtime. One of the things I realized would be smart for me to do would be to get all his tapes together in one place. So I asked people who worked for him, where would I find the masters for this or for that? And they said to me, they're probably at Warner Brothers, probably in Burbank, in California, just call them. Then it became a little bit of an obsession. So then when my goal was, I want us to have everything he's ever recorded right here. So I started amassing them. And then that's when we began planning Paisley Park, and we realized if we're gonna have a vault, let's have a vault. Because if we get, I don't know, if we get a tornado, if we get a flood, this is his legacy. We need to protect these things.
You can get in there. This is Paisley Park. I'm actually at Paisley Park. It's just so infuriating to think that a few meters in front of me is the vault. It's not actually locked. I could probably squeeze through. If I could just get half an hour in there. Moving gate can cause serious injury or death. If I could just grab some tapes off the shelf, it would be great. So now we know the vault exists, but how much music is inside? And is it any good?
It was like a funnel. It was as if somebody was pouring these songs into him, and they would just continue to come out the other end, like a water spigot that wouldn't turn off. But instead of water, it was songs.
I've seen him just pop off parts just like that in the studio. I'll be like, ow! He jump on the keyboards, you know, synthesizers, you know, guitar. It was just funky, you know. It's like, man. Like, how do you come up with this?
I would think that maybe only a quarter of the music that we recorded during that time actually got released.
Frequently, he would have very, very excellent songs that for whatever reason didn't fit the concept he had in mind for a given album. So that song would fall to the wayside.
The amount of time that I spent in the studio with him, probably only about 5 or 10% of it was ever released.
A song takes a long time. An album might take 700 or 800 hours. We could do, and we did do, an album in a week.
We recorded with Prince whenever he felt like recording. If I was laying in bed with my wife watching Dick Van Dyke or watching Andy Griffith at 3 o'clock in the morning and my pager went off, I had to get up and go to Paisley Park and record.
Where I last saw it might have been around '85 because other people took over after that. But where I last saw it, I think there were some 700 songs, maybe 800 or so. I seem to remember it was around that mark. And then we kept working.
From the late 70s up until, when I was there, I say about 2,000 songs. He probably has more now.
If he was awake, as long as he wasn't on the phone and handling business for the most part, Prince was recording. I've never known anyone else who works like that.
I'm giving Prince's lawyer a call. They got in touch to tell us that Prince is the only person qualified to talk about the vault. And so I'm going to ask him to talk about the vault. She hasn't been returning my calls.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up.
Voicemail.
When you say the word vault, it's really a vault of treasure. I mean, it's like the Beatles stuff and Michael Jackson stuff. This stuff is incredible on every level with all different type of artists.
There was a song called Moonbeam Levels. To this day, it remains one of my favorite Prince songs. Oh,
it's never come
Levels.
out.
So beautiful. Occasionally, when we were sequencing records, we would put that song into the sequence, and I'd think, at last, I'm so happy. This beautiful song is going on this record. But he would pull it. He'd always pull it.
There was another song called Cornbread Rappers, and it's a bad song, meaning wicked, meaning cool. It's awesome. I liked it. It just never got released. It stayed in the vault.
When you're going through the process of becoming a legend, who wouldn't want to know about that? That early work tells us something. That's information. And what good is that information, the artist might say? What do you need with that information? We don't need it. We want it. It tells us something about a unique human being, an important human being in the history of music, an important human being in popular culture.
The vault in general is, it keeps the mystique only because the door is shut. If you open the door, then there goes the mystique. It's almost better for Prince to keep the door shut, and then people have to continue to guess.
I would personally love to hear it, but I think, it's free will. It's his choice,
Well, I think the problem is that you and I and the fans think in terms of years or decades, and I think Prince thinks in terms of centuries, and I think he's thinking they'll come out in 200 years or 300 years. So I think, it's just going to be such a long game, and we're not going to see, unless we're very lucky, the main fruit of the vault be released in our lifetime.
Maybe he's just waiting for the right time. It could be that. Maybe he's waiting for the future. Maybe he wants to show other generations something that he did now that could be even relevant for that next generation.
Will he decide, okay, everybody, at some point in my life, here you go, have at it, knock yourselves out, access to the vault, release whatever you want to release? Or no? Will he go in and erase those things? Will he transfer them to digital? I don't know. I mean, tape now, it degrades over time. So many of these things will be unplayable very soon. So they need to be transferred. If they're going to be heard by anyone, they need to be put into a storage medium where they can be preserved.
But perhaps Prince is more interested in preserving the mystique of the vault, in which case he'll want to keep its doors firmly shut.
Do you think we're ever going to get to hear everything that's in the vault?
No.
Why? Because he won't put it out?
No, because I think if you could, you would probably be, you'd probably be sitting there for 10 years.